What is going down? YouTube, you are back with the prayers. Friday, wrapping up a week of training. You can see I'm here sitting on my incline bench. These last couple of days, I haven't been feeling 100%. I've been feeling a little bit run down. I haven't been getting the best sleep. You can hear I sound a little bit congested probably, right? So I honestly wanted to train in the park. I wanted to do a calisthenic routine. But in my head, I knew it was probably smarter to do a lower intensity, lower stress type of routine today, right? So I actually said, F it. Let me ask ChatGPT what I should do. And I wrote to ChatGPT and said, listen, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Haven't been getting the best sleep the last 2 nights. Should I train calisthenics or should I do a more bodybuilding, cable-focused workout? And it literally says that if your CNS isn't fully recovered, better off, which I already knew, to do the bodybuilding cable-style routine. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I actually told it to generate me a chest and back focused upper body bodybuilding style routine using the equipment I have in my gym. So exercise 1 that I recommended was high incline or incline chest press with the cables. And it said to go for 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Let's get into the first set. Filming. Alright, for a nice 15 on that first set. Remember, like I said, training with the cables and machines, it's going to be lower overall systemic stress on the body, more localized stress on the muscle, right? So it's not going to fatigue the nervous system. It's not going to require as much nervous system activation as your calisthenic sets, right? Because remember, this type of training, open chain, compared to calisthenics, skill work, which is going to be closed chain. Closed chain movements, a lot more demanding on the nervous system as they require full body tension, full body coordination through the whole range of motion. Here, body's fixed, just my limbs are moving through the range of motion. So 2 more sets, you can see the congestion. 2 more sets to start it off. Alright, 2-minute breaks here. Remember, we're working with the cables, right? So the intensity overall is not going to be as stressful on the body. You can keep the break period short, and even if you have a drop off in reps here, like I said, the parameters were 12 to 15. I caught 15 on the first set. As long as I hit 12 by set 3, I'm good. And I'm telling you, when you're doing machines, cables, they're not isolations because they're still multi-joint, right? My elbow is getting action, my shoulder joint is getting action, right? So it's still considered a compound movement. But the tension on the muscle is constant. Whereas when you're doing the calisthenics, right, you're pretty much only getting that tension like if you're doing a dip. Through that eccentric, that's when you're gonna really feel the load of the weight, right? And then a little bit as you come up in the concentric. With the cables, you're feeling the line of resistance through the concentric, through the eccentric. It helps you develop that mind-muscle connection. And the mind-muscle connection really helps you feel the muscle working rep to rep. And you can really get in tune with how it feels after the set, right? Where the blood is, how the pump feels in that area. 1 more set. All right, guys. 3rd set. All right, 3 sets done. We're gonna move on to a pull. I'm gonna be going back and forth between push and pull for the body routine. Let's go. All right, incline, chest press is done. Like I said, moving on to back. We're gonna go neutral grip, lat pull down. Neutral grip is gonna be safest on the elbow. And you're also getting, like I said, you're gonna get the best lat engagement when the elbows can draw close to the body, right? Which you're also gonna be the strongest in because you're getting the most assistance from the bicep, the brachialis, and the forearm and everything in this grip, right? So, same thing here, 3 sets, 10 to 12 here. All right, we got 12 the first set. 2-minute break, as long as I catch 10 each set, we're good money here. Let's go. And 12, guys, perfect number for it to be an RPE 8. Again, I'm keeping just about 2 reps in the tank there. Each set, the lactic acid is building up more and more. And again, cables, you're really getting in tune with that mind muscle. The lactic acid is going to build up faster when you're in tune with the eccentric and the concentric. When you're just repping out calisthenics, it's harder to realize how fast that lactic acid builds up, right? Because you might be doing a 50 clip before it builds up. Here, you could get it to build up with a 12 clip. Due to the fact that you got such tension in both directions of the movement. 1 more set. Let's go. Last set, best set. And there you go. In that third set, those last 2 reps, I lost a little bit of range of motion. Just because, again, that RPE started to ramp up. So I was closer again to an RPE 9 right there. But again, keeping the reps strict, focusing on that time of detention. Let's keep moving. All right, guys, moving on. We're going to hit a little bit of shoulders. This is going to work the delts, the traps, a little bit of the upper back, a little bit of the upper chest. We're going to do cable Y raises here, right? Throwing this step back. We're going to get a nice stretch to start. And we're going to fly up and back, just like we usually would do on the rings, guys. We're going to get 3 sets of 10 on these. And you guys, I'm using the lightest weight possible on the cable stack here. You guys could also do these, if you have access to rings, you guys could do Y's on the rings, right? So you step back, boom, fly out, fly out. And if you don't have rings either, you can get yourself a light pair of dumbbells and you can do full range of motion lateral raises, right? Where we're coming from here all the way to the top, controlling it back down, guys. 2 more sets. All right, guys, next up, we moved on to a chest-supported row. I did 2 variations here, so I filmed all 3 sets. This is a little bit of a tough movement for me to get into with the cables, because as the weight gets heavier, the chair kind of wants, as I am in that eccentric, the chair kind of wants to move forward with me, right? Especially then when I pull back and there's less tension on the chair and it's all on my back, the chair also wants to move forward because I'm supporting all my weight on it, right? So I have to figure out a more optimal way to get these chest-supported rows done. But chest-supported rows, a lot safer on the lower back, right? So you just get to focus, again, on almost solely isolating the back here. Even though it's multi-joint, shoulder joint and elbow joint are working, all the stress is being placed on the back. And the chest-supported variation allows for really good scapular control, meaning at the front, at the eccentric, at this full stretch, you can think about letting your scapula and your chest round around the pad or whatever you're supporting your chest on. And as you pull back, you retract those shoulder blades and pull the scapula back into retraction. And then as you come forward again into nice protraction, so you're getting really good full range of motion repetitions here with very, very low stress on the core or on the low back or anything like that, guys. So chest-supported rows are an excellent exercise that are going to complement your pulling because it also takes the momentum out of the exercise. You're not jerking, you're not swinging and everything or anything like that. So you'll see a lot of street lifters doing seal rows where they'll do something like this with a barbell where they're laying on a high bench and they're rowing the barbell to the bench in a prone position. They're laying flat on their stomach and just focusing on the row. Again, if you're getting a stronger row, a bigger back in general, it's going to help your pull-ups, right? A bigger back, a stronger back, in general, is going to help with any back exercise that you're doing, especially a bodyweight back exercise like a pull-up. All right, guys, that was 3 sets of chest-supported row. On that 3rd set, I just tried a new variation. Just because it's a little tough to get into the chest-supported row on your own. I typically have to I'm having my pops pass me one of the cables early because the weight's too heavy, right? And then when the weight's back here, if I'm loading up too heavy, the bench will start to move a little bit, right, with leverage as I'm pulling back, right? The bench will shoot a little bit forward. So I gotta find a better or more optimal chest-supported row setup. I only make attachments that I can put right here and literally angle my chest on here and get dumbbells and probably use the cable here for that also. But we're modifying what we got here. A couple more exercises to go. Let's finish it off. All right, back work is done. Now we're gonna move back to chest with some isolation work. We're doing seated cable flies here. Now, isolation, remember, isolation work means it's only single joint action. Now you're gonna see my elbows are gonna look bent in the fly, but there's no movement in the elbow. So let's just say I'm starting the movement like this, right? The only joint that's actually getting movement is the shoulder, right? So you're still isolating the chest, even if there's bending in the elbow. So you don't have to keep your arms completely straight to consider it an isolation here. And again, I want you guys to think about the movement patterns that we went through so far. We started the exercise with an incline cable chest press, right? Where the cable is moving more vertical, right? The pulley is angled low, and I'm pressing up into the air. More of a vertical press. Then we moved on to our close grip lat pull downs. What is that? That's a vertical pull. So we hit a first vertical push, and then a vertical pull. And then we hit a nice external rotation exercise with those cable Ys, right? Which are gonna hit the whole posterior upper back, the delts, and everything, right? Work on that external rotation after being internally rotated on the pull downs and on the presses, right? Great complementary exercise. Then our next back movement was a horizontal row, a chest supported movement. Now what are we doing for chest? A horizontal push. So this whole workout complements each other very well. 12 to 15 reps. I'm not going to film all 3. I'll probably just film the 3rd set. And then we're going to move on a little bit of bicep and tricep work to finish off the routine. Let's go. All right, guys, 3rd set. I didn't film the 2nd. All right, guys, and remember, this routine was designed entirely by ChatGPT.
And they did a pretty damn good job at programming it and exercise order and selection. The only thing I changed was the order at which they placed the fly movement that I'm doing right now. After the back, after the chest supported rows, they had me going to tricep pushdowns, then biceps, and then doing a big drop set of chest flies for only one set. With a mechanical tension drop set. That's exactly what they wrote down, meaning you start heavy and you keep dropping weight until you legit hit muscular failure. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just hit nice flies that were going to complement the chest supported rows, so that's the order I did it at.
Flies done. Like I said, we're going to finish off with just some bicep and tricep work. I'm only going to film one set of each, and we're doing one exercise. Now, I spoke about this last time. I spoke about this many times in many videos. Hypertrophy, right? There's three main drivers of hypertrophy. Mechanical tension. That means more load added over time. You're getting stronger in given movements. You used to be able to do these cable flies with 25 pounds for 12, and now you're doing them with 35 pounds for 12. That's mechanical tension, right? There's also metabolic stress. That would be taking this same 25 pounds, and instead of increasing the weight when you can do 12 to 15 reps, you keep pushing reps until you can do sets of 30, right? That's increasing metabolic stress. That's pumping more volume, more blood into the muscle. Another way to build muscle, that's the other driver of hypertrophy. And then the third driver is muscle damage, which again, you can take this same 25 pounds and the same 12 reps, and instead of adding weight or adding repetitions to it, now you're taking that same 12 reps, but you're focusing on longer eccentrics, making the 12 reps last longer, right? So you got three ways, with a perfect example here with just these cable flies, of how you can induce hypertrophy, right? And the number one driver always, again, is mechanical tension. If you get stronger, the muscle has no other choice but to grow and get bigger, right? So if you could get stronger in every movement, you're naturally going to be putting on muscle. Now, if you're limited to weight, right? You have an X amount of weight that you can only increase over time, that's when you can use the other two principles, right? Metabolic stress. Take the max weight that you have. If you can't go any heavier because you don't have heavier weights, take that to higher and higher rep ranges, right? Into the 30 rep range, right? For 3 sets, three to 5 sets if needed, right? Again, that's going to produce that metabolic stress. Or take the same weight, slow it down, create more muscle damage with more eccentric loading. Quick little breakdown again of hypertrophy, and hopefully that was a very clear example of how you can utilize it with a simple move, just like cable flies, and it will translate over to every other exercise. Let's finish the day off. Let's go. All right, guys, bis and tris. One set, taking pretty much to failure here. I might not go to max failure, but I don't need to really do more than one set here. We had a lot of rowing and pushing in the workout here. Good money with that. One thing for triceps, finish off the routine, let's go.
Okay, last exercise of the day. If you guys watch Monday's push workout, the last few weeks I've been doing body weight, tricep extensions. 1 week I was doing them on the bench. Last week I was doing them on the rings. This week's push workout, I moved on to tricep pushdowns with the cable. So today we're going cable overhead tricep extensions. Amazing for hitting the long head of the tricep. And again, really good for elbow health and just lighting up the entire tricep to finish off the routine.
All right, guys. Overhead tricep extensions to wrap up the routine, and we are finished. One exercise only, like I said, for biceps and triceps. The rowing, the pushing, the pressing. It's going to hit enough biceps and triceps, and all the calisthenic work that we do throughout the week. The weighted dips, the weighted pulls, they're going to get stimulated enough, right? I'm never one to do too much arm work, right? I have naturally big arms. I'm not saying that you guys could get away with as little volume as I can, but I don't need a lot of volume directly for my arms, right? Indirect volume always has been sufficient for producing sufficient gains for me. Like I said, this is a low stress, full upper body routine. We hit everything. shoulders, chest, triceps, back, everything, guys. And again, one more time, the benefits of the cables. If you're feeling run down, if you have access to them, if you're burnt, or if you're just trying to do like a deload style routine, cables are going to be lower systemic stress. It's the systemic stress. It's the nervous system fatigue and overload, which burns you out. It's a lot easier to get away with more and more volume in this type of training. Because again, we're only stressing the muscles. Right now, I have a pump throughout my whole body, but I don't feel beat. Literally, if I would have went to the park today, in my head, I was going to do like a 3 to 5 round routine, muscle ups, dips, push-ups. And I would have only literally been able to probably get through maybe 5 rounds before it being too much. Because again, the nervous system has to fire up. It's a lot of overall moving parts. Here, it's just my limbs moving through space, where I don't have to really worry about core activation, nothing like that. Still, very effective muscle building routine. And there's no wrong time to incorporate cables, right? If you only want to be a calisthenic athlete, you can still utilize cables and machines from time to time. They're not going to hinder your calisthenic training. They're only going to enhance it. As long as you don't start prioritizing this, meaning you're not doing cables and machines 4 days a week and calisthenics 1 day a week, right? Because then you might get stiff, you might lose your flow. But if you're prioritizing calisthenics, throwing this in once in a while is not going to do anything but, again, benefit you. Like always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the routine. If you have a question or comment, leave it in the comment section. Like the video, share with your friends and family. If you're not subscribed, maybe you know, guys, hit that subscribe button. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one. BARNATURALS.
They all love to talk, you know they do that shit the most. Think you on my level, boy, but you ain't even close.